All right, friends, it's Timon. We are back with a new video on Weak Destiny, Alpha Weak Destiny, bro. He's still here 10, 12 years later, trying to get strong, dude. Man, if he was to leave, if he was to stop lifting, he won't be able to do any of these things anymore. And if he stops just for a month or so, I guarantee you he come back, he's not going to be lifting any of these things because he's weak destiny. That's why he has to keep lifting them, because they'll go away very quickly because he never got strong. Anyways, we're going to react to the gym lifting, recruiting, fitness, slave, and possibly, I don't know. It looks like he took gear in the past, maybe now, before. He did something phony, but who knows? He's an influencer. Anyways, Alex Leonidas of Alpha Weak Destiny says, how I hit a 200-pound weighted pull-up. Wow, it took you 12 years? Finally.
After years of weighted pull-up specialization, I finally broke the...
See, after years. After years.
200-pound barrier. My new 1-rep max is 210 at a body weight of 165, bringing up my total to 375.
So his max is 210 at a body of 165. He did 210. Wow. After years of lifting, which will go away if he leaves the gym within a month or two. It'll be gone. All of it. His bench press, his lifting, the weighted dip, whatever the fuck he's doing here, the pull-up dip, whatever, it's all going to go away.
Just 25 pounds away from the legendary 400-pound mark, which is my ultimate long-term goal since 2022.
What is it, 400 pounds? Oh, it's 200 away from the... Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
My total has gone up by 40 pounds, or about 15 pounds per year. And at this rate, I'm on track to surpass 5 plates by next year. Not long ago, that would have been considered world...
Yeah, you don't need to talk about it. Show it. Don't talk. Show it then, if that's the truth. None of these people have ever gotten strong. Alpha Destiny never got strong. He's not strong because he's a small, pretend strong guy. Because he's still lifting. 20 years later... what's his name? Alpha Destiny, Alex Leonidas is still lifting. I guarantee you come back here on YouTube and this guy is still going to be lifting because he never got strong. 25 years, 30, 40 years later, he's going to look worse than Blaha. Forget it.
Class. But as I've said since 2017, the lats and upper back have the greatest upper body potential and the most room for progression. So even though back has always been my...
For progression, they do. Yeah, for progression. But you never got strong because you don't know what makes you strong. Space. If you go out into outer space, you get weak. When you land on Earth, gravity makes you strong. Makes your muscles strong, big and strong. So what would make you big and strong? Think about that. Well, he's lifting always against gravity. If you go against gravity, that doesn't make you strong.
Strongest body part, progress hasn't slowed down, at least not the way it's done so with other weaker muscles. Yeah. So I'm genuinely excited about the future. I know I'm capable of more, and so are you. Now to be fully...
I know you're capable of more. Yes, man. 20, 50 years later down the line, you're capable of more. Stay there forever trying to get strong. Yeah.
Transparent.
Yeah.
That 210-pound rep wasn't the cleanest. Sure. I barely got my chin over the bar, if that. And some would say it doesn't even count, and I'll accept that. But this isn't a competition, and that wasn't even my strongest grip.
You know what's funny? You know, there is a modality where you actually get strong. You build muscle according to your strength. And so as your strength is growing, your muscle's growing at the same pace. So your muscle and your strength is going up. Your nervous system strength, which is the fake strength, and your real actual strength is going up naturally, building myofibulars. So when you reach that point, you'll be strong. Get it? But none of these fitness people have ever done that because none of them have built any myofibulars according to their nervous system strength. So they've never gotten strong. But guess what? They'll convince you they're getting strong. They are. That's why they're still lifting 25, 30 years later, they're still lifting, trying to get strong. Why? Because they never got strong. Because they never got strong.
I only just got started maxing out again on pull-ups, and either way, I'm officially in the
I can prove it. Tell any of these lifters to leave the gym, and especially don't take any PEDs, okay? Don't fake it. No steroids, nothing. And tell them to leave the gym for 2 months, and then tell them to come back. Tell them to come back and lift the same weights that they lifted. Tell them. And I guarantee you, all that phony, fake strength went away. You understand me? It's fake. It's phony.
200-pound zone. I can hit that cleanly. It's fine. And that's what I was working towards. So in today's video, I want to share the exact methods that took me from 4 plates to about 4.5 plates. And best of all, how you could do it too. One advice is to train your weakest grip until it's...
Yes, how you could do it too. He's going to tell you how you could do it too. Enslave yourself and be a lifting slave forever. Trying to get strong forever.
no longer a weakness. What used to be your weakest grip can eventually match your strongest grip. And when that happens, it immediately unlocks a new checkpoint. Or even waves of instant PRs. So a lot of you have followed me for years.
With a wave of instant PRs. He looks funny here. He looks funny, bro. He's like 5'4". Look, Alpha Destiny's 5'4". He just looks funny, man. A 5'4" little guy.
And remember when I first hit a 4-plate pull-up. Back then, I was much stronger at pronated pulls. My weighted chin-ups lagged about 25 pounds behind, so there was a clear gap. I'd also never trained super wide grip pull-ups. And when I started doing them in 2022, I could barely hit a plate. So right away, my obvious weak links were identified. Being all underhand grips, close to wide, in addition to super wide grip pull-ups, which have become a staple in my routine. While my close and medium pronated pull-ups were super strong. Therefore, to fix this...
They were super strong. They were super strong? I don't see it, man. He's never gotten strong.
Balance, I completely stopped doing neutral grip pull-ups and close to medium pronated pull-ups for almost 2 years. Yes, you heard that right. They only came back in 2024. That long block changed everything.
They only came back in 2024. Yeah, okay, whatever, man.
So when I say you got to correct your weaknesses, it's not going to happen in a couple months. It can take years in many cases, as it did for myself. But the super wides...
It could take years. You know, all this trying to get strong, like I said before, and I put it in my community section, you're exhausting the stem cell pool by repetitively damaging and only repairing your muscles because, well, you're lifting high volume. You're lifting every day. Muscles don't remodel every day. They can damage, they can patch, they can damage and repair every day or every other day, whatever. But they don't remodel every day. That's very specific. There's no remodeling there, dude. So you're just exhausting the stem cell pool. You're exposing them to an environment, getting them to come out of quiescence. They're exposed to DNA damage, bro. They're going to exhaust eventually down the line. It happens to all these fitness people, trust me.
Gave me what I call my second wave of lat puberty. Almost like newbie gains. That's only happened to me twice.
Lat puberty? It's like newbie gains? What newbie gains? You got newbie gains. You didn't get any gains, bro. You didn't get anything. You're still there. You're still there lifting. You never discovered what makes you strong, but you're still there pretending you're strong. This is just pretend, dude. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate, but I don't care, man. The truth really hurts people. Here's the problem. When you tell the truth to people, it really hurts. It hurts their egos. They can't stand it.
In my lifting journey. So if there's one back...
You want to know what a lifting slave is? Somebody that's enslaved to something like this. These are lifting slaves. They never got strong. Because if they did, why are they still there if they got strong? The whole purpose of lifting is to get strong, is to build muscle, get strong, And then you don't have to lift anymore. Get it?
Exercise that's truly transformative is this one. The best part is, I originally started doing them because biomechanics gurus claimed they targeted the upper back and the teres major, which is what I was trying to build. But what ended up happening is that my back just kept getting wider and wider by accident.
Oh, really?
And that's when it all clicked. The old school greats were right.
It was getting wider by accident. I'd say he's got semi-low body fat. You know what I mean? Yeah, he tries to keep it quite low. But in reality, he's really small. He's really, really small because he's really, really, really weak. He never got strong. Poor Alex never got strong. Oh, well, that's why he's still lifting here 12 years later.
Frontal plane pull-ups do bias the lats, so they become a must-do for me. They've let me get more out of less weight for the past 3 years. And the best part...
They do. They're really great. They're really great at damaging they're really great at helping you if you want to remodel muscles. But if you're just damaging and you're not remodeling, they're worthless. They're useless. You never got strong. If you never remodeled your muscles, you never got stronger. I'm telling you, and the majority of people, they're not remodeling, dude. They're damaging, but they're not remodeling. They're just repairing.
You don't need much.
Trust me, many people complain about that. They say, "Oh, we're just repairing." And they go, "It's muscle damage just repairs." Well, it does if it's minor damage. If it's extensive damage, then there's a remodeling. But that can only happen in a very specific genre of lifting, and it ain't what he's doing. That's for sure.
Load to see massive growth, especially with controlled form.
Yeah.
I would say 40% of the time I'm cyborging it. I was mostly doing moderate reps with a bit over a plate and still making gains.
See what else he's doing here.
Now I can do
right now in Gaza.
Switch to close underhand.
Okay.
There's no stopping point in the center. Recently, I got my is in the pudding.
Yes.
Super wides. Here's the takeaway. Bring up your weakest grip to match your strongest grip. And your strongest
Bring up your weakest grip to bring up your strongest grip? Okay.
pull-up automatically goes up. It's pretty simple and straightforward.
Yeah.
You don't even have to train.
Okay.
3-month block, rotating 4 core.
Sure.
Momentum and thus instability, making it much less likely you'll swing the plates or lose that mind-muscle connection in your back. By doing this, the total
You'll lose that mind-muscle connection in your back. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense, yeah.
weight can oftentimes be heavier than a lat pull down.
Whoa.
Okay? The bulk paid off, and I held on to those strength gains as I
The bulk paid off, and I held on to those strength gains. See what I'm trying to explain to you? They're doing everything to try to get strong, but they're never getting strong. I bulked, and then I'm trying to hang on to those strength gains. Well, I thought this was getting you strong, lifting, isn't it? Or is it the bulk that makes you strong? What makes you strong? How do you get strong exactly? Please explain it to us.
leaned out. One thing I've noticed, I'm at my absolute strongest around 12% body fat. When I drop below that, my total pull-up...
I love this. I'm absolutely my strongest at 12% body fat. What makes you strong at 12% body fat? Alex, why are you still lifting then if you're so strong? Why are you still there lifting? You should be strong enough to lift it anytime. See what I mean?
dips a bit, even though the external weight looks more impressive to someone who doesn't know my actual body weight.
If you actually built yourself strong, then you should be able to lift that weight without practicing at it anymore. See what I mean?
The only real advantage to being leaner is my one-arm pull-up, but honestly, that's more so...
If you can't lift that weight without practice, that means you didn't get stronger. You didn't get strong. You need to get strong, and then you should be able to lift that weight without practicing anymore.
Display of strength. If you already built a big way to pull up and...
Well, that's stupid stuff. The one arm thing, pulling yourself up and down. You're not really pulling yourself up. You're just trying to push up. This is ridiculous.
Then cut down while practicing the one-arm pull-up, you'll see progress super fast. Because the strength was already there. I managed to improve both my external load and my total load. So the programming I'm sharing works. And the way I did it was through this very simple training. Just 2 sets on pull-ups using the main variations I talked about before with one.
Bodybuilding isn't training. You don't train to bodybuild. There's no such thing as training muscle to build. You don't train it to build. You damage it, but you don't train it.
Back down set of behind neck pull-ups. Sometimes I do straight sets of 4 to 6 reps. Other times, 1 top set and 1 back down set in the 5 to 8 rep range. Usually, it was 3 plates for the first set and then 2 plates for the second set. Since I was using weaker grips, that was more.
He's just wasting his time, man.
Stable row. So we're talking about 6 to 7 isn't much easier, by the way, even though it's a lengthened part.
Look, lengthen what? This isn't lengthen partial. You're using your arms, you dumbass. Listen to what he says here. Hold on.
Yeah, so that's when I knew I milked the movement for all it was worth. But by then, the carryover to weighted pull-ups couldn't be ignored. Because if you recall, a couple years ago, I was doing inverted rows with a backpack on. Well, this allows you to go heavier and it replicates that movement pattern. So once I hit 7 plates on the ghetto row, I then switched over to seal rows, which humbled me all over again. So I rotate between a cambered easy bar, the new
He's using his arms. His arms are rowing this.
Omni bar by Bells of Steel and Bald Omni-Man, and a straight bar. The straight bar isn't much easier, by the way, even though it's a lengthened part.
It's not a lengthened partial. If it was a lengthened partial, you'd be using your back. Bald Omni-Man, is that one of your guys? The Bald Omni-Man, you look up to him or what?
Partial. Most guys won't go past 275. Now I set the incline bench to the lowest setting, so having short arms is convenient, but if you can't get full extension, just widen your reps. You gotta be explosive here. And regarding ghetto lat pull downs, pull up PRs when I dropped bent over rows and focused more so on stable options that let me recruit pure upper back.
He's just using his arms. He's wasting his time, man.
I'm not bashing bent over row pull up. Singles in there, and I didn't bother with review. As for higher reps and injuries, golfer's elbow death.
Whatever.
Once my elbows can handle it.
I love this. Higher reps and injuries. Why are you getting injured? Because you never got strong. That's why you're getting injured.
When the elbows were 100%.
All right, yep.
Classic calisthenics days, which really got me thinking.
Yeah.
Towards effective reps, making your biceps cramp and hurt like hell. And for me, the way to pull up was always
It's making the biceps hurt. He's never growing either. He's like Blaha. He's never getting stronger. I don't see this guy ever building any muscle. He says he weighs 165 or something. He's never going past 165. He's never getting any stronger. He's not building any muscle. He's not getting stronger. It's just bullshit.
limited
Whatever.
by top end strength. Centric. And I do believe it might be better than top end pause reps with less weight. In
Do pause reps and this rep and that rep, okay?
addition, and on a connected note, so finally broke through my top end plateau. But pull-ups, I rotate straight bars, 2 types of easy bars, one with a curve, one with
Look at his face. That was funny, man. Those eyes.
a more traditional angle, and I alternate between close and moderate grips.
Look at him. Look how bald he is. He looks so bald, man, now. He looks funny. He's just accelerated aging, bro. That's all he's doing here. He's not doing anything.
For all these bars, but I try not
Look at that face.
to make close my default, since that's harder on the elbows, but it's cool that you can't lift as much with your arms pinned in, so it's a good way to get more or less weight. I also throw in fat bar curls, which are amazing for forearm strength.
Yeah, sure, yeah, okay, whatever.
With less axial fatigue. Floor curls and strict curls are essentially interchangeable, and both are my since again, they're my weak point. All the exercise selection points.
Yes, these are your weak points. Your weak points are you've never gone strong. It's too bad. Enjoy trying to get strong forever and ever and ever and ever and ever trying to get strong. Stay there forever, man. I'm sorry I had to go through the video quickly because it's so long, bro. It just would take me forever to watch it, you know? They're just ridiculous exercises anyways.
To that. And I just need to become more arm dominant and train my worst grips. And remember, hitting milestone PRs like adding a plate comes from years of consistency and
See? Years of consistency. It doesn't take years to get strong. It only takes less than a year to get really strong. It doesn't take forever like him. I guess he's stuck on trying to get strong still. He'll be there for the next 20 years. See you in the next one, friends. Don't you think about that? Like, subscribe, support the channel. Don't be a lifting slave like him.
Those plus ones over time. Every bit adds up. And one day, you'll be repping your old 1 rep max. So that's it, guys. Hope you learned a lot about my pull-up programming. If you got any...
I have. I learned a lot. It's a waste of time. See you in the next one, man.